Mentor.
Hey everybody, we are live today. Unfortunately, Jason could not join us for site security and preventing fraud today. That talk will be next Thursday, so join us the same time on the 21st to get Jason's talk on that. If you're here for that talk, I'm really sorry, but stick around and hang out with Kim, Jared, and I. We're going to be answering different questions and things. It's going to be a free for all ask me anything. We didn't really have a whole lot of time to prepare for this, but we're going to wing it and do our best. So if you're here, say hi, drop us questions. If you want us to discuss a certain topic, let us know. We can pull up demo sites pretty quickly to show you guys things, and we're just going to roll with it.
All right, you can pull up demo sites, huh? Whose screen are you sharing?
I can share my screen. You guys can walk me through how to do things.
Oh, that would be great.
We're going to level Sam up in the world today.
Yes. And then you can do it by yourself next time.
Maybe not. I'm going to say no. I do see that a couple people have actually submitted questions in our chat pretty early on. So we can start with those. There is a question. Is there a feature that allows free access on a trial basis for a fixed time period?
Yes. If I understand your question correctly, when you're setting up a level, you can set an expiration date. And if you're giving them a trial, so if it's a free trial, we have a whole post on this, so many different types of trials. But the simplest that I would think of is if I had a 7-day trial and they put their credit card in, and if they can cancel before 7 days and then they won't be charged. The other is just having a level with a coupon code, I think, and an expiration date set on it. I don't know, Jared, is there something I'm missing? I'm going to look for the post too, so we can put it in the thread.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of ways we can do it. You could use subscription delays to delay the first payment. You could just use a free level that expires after a certain amount of days. We got a cool recipe that lets you prevent somebody from signing up from the same level again, so they don't keep signing up for a trial. Yeah, there's a couple of ways we could do it.
Yeah, we know it's Kim said this on another Kim Coleman said this on another open office hours, that you guys can ask us how to do something and we'll give you about 8 different ways that it can be done.
Yeah.
Right.
There's never just like one like straight path. It's all like, well, what are you trying to do? What's the end goal that you're looking for? And even then we'll probably have 8 ways for you to accomplish the same thing.
Exactly.
Definitely.
And everybody wants it different, and quite often in support it'll go like, well, it's logical to do this, and it's logical for you. It doesn't mean it's logical for everybody. I'm amazed at all the different ways people have thought out their process, and we're usually able to accommodate most of the different end games.
There's also an Elementor question for, I'm going to put this on Jared. So they tried using the Elementor settings for PM Pro to allow 4 levels to see the same content, but it won't show if the member doesn't have all 4 levels.
So I want to say that shouldn't happen. I was just having a look at the code now, and I mean, we use one of the core functions to check if someone has a membership level. And that kind of, as far as I know, follows OR behavior. So if you have 1 or 2 or 3 levels, but it's worth giving a test in the background, I think.
I'm assuming they're using the multi-level per user edition, and that's how they notice?
Not
I do not.
necessarily.
I mean, I guess they would have to if
Maybe.
they were able to
Yeah.
test if they have all 4 or not.
Right.
But that information is not given to me.
That's all right.
I'm doing a test too. But yeah, that should not happen. It should be whenever, for any kind of any required content, when you check those boxes, it should be for one level, because by default, Paid Memberships Pro, you can only have one level. So it would never be expected you have all of them without the addition of the MMPU add-on.
Shall I share my screen just so that, and we can have a look together?
Yeah, I absolutely can.
Yeah.
That
Just for
would be good
fun.
to see what you're seeing.
For funsies. Well, then we can dive in. It can be speed coding with Jared.
No.
We haven't had a speed
No.
coding session in a long time.
We're not
on the
that
Open
cool.
Office.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it simple. Yeah.
sounds like a Jason thing.
Oh, here you go.
And we should have
Yes.
one.
Speed
two.
coding with Jason was the first time that we had that as a segment on Open Office Hours. And Ryan was asking about Jason's site security and preventing fraud talk. If you're just rolling in, Jason was unable to attend today. So we're doing an Ask Me Anything with Jared and Kim White. Feel free to stick around, but Jason will be here next week.
You know, I just had this happen. I wonder if Elementor changed something.
Ooh.
It seems to be working on my side, though. I have one level. I required that, and the text is showing.
And everybody's Elementor's up to date?
Yeah, I just downloaded the latest one. I'd be curious to see how you'd set it up. And if there was any custom code running. Like, there's a couple of variables we could look at. But yeah.
What? And yeah, I'm using the Hello theme, and I'm having that error.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm going to change to another theme and see what happens.
Does it work if you have MMPU on? And you have all the levels?
I didn't try it with MMP.
It'd be nice to know if that user does have MMPU on. So Growth Virtual Assistants, if you are in the chat still, I know you posted your question pretty early, but if you're in the chat still, let us know if you're using multiple membership per user on your site with Elementor. And I guess also what theme you're using on your site as well. Jared, what theme are you using?
I'm on Member
Light.
Member Light, sorry. Wow.
Didn't you recognize it?
It's really late in South Africa. We're keeping Jared up past his bedtime for this.
Yeah, it looks like there may be some kind of bug. We'll have to look deeper at that for sure.
Jared's still diving in. We went down a rabbit hole today on our add-ons too.
Yeah, I'm terrible at keeping things on track, so yeah, it's still working for me. So Kim and I can have a look at this properly tomorrow, and we'll figure something out.
If you want,
you're gonna start crazy stuff on Fridays, then, Jared.
Yeah.
There's no limit to what day crazy can start on. Yeah.
Facts.
It's always something. My little Rosanna. Sorry.
Okay, so I have a redirect question. And I know this is possible, and I'm pretty sure we have recipes on to do it, but is there a way to redirect a member to a particular page once logged in based on their membership level? Yes.
Yes. We have an add-on that will do that for you, and that is the members homepage. So if you find that add-on and put that link in there.
I got it.
I mean, you could probably write custom code to do that, but
I think there's a recipe to do it as well.
Yeah. But for a solution out the box, member homepages is awesome for that.
member homepages, yeah, because you can
Yes.
you set it right on your level. You can select what homepage, so you can have a different page each level goes to. Very nice. So by default, our plugin, when you're using our login, will send the user to their members account page. Just if anybody wondered, that is the default.
All right, and then we have another question. I'm glad questions are rolling in. This makes me happy. We have something to talk about.
Yeah. Awesome.
Tammy asks, is there a way to know when a customer cancels their account so we can access if they should be refunded?
Sam knows that.
Yes.
We get an email anytime anybody cancels.
We do.
There is an email template in your emails. It should be working. If you're not seeing those, you want to look at your email templates and make sure it's not disabled. But you should be getting
And if you
emails when
wanna-
somebody cancels.
Yeah. And if you want to take it a step further, you can hook into things like Zapier and all that kind of thing and track orders that get marked as cancelled and set up automations that go into sheets and all those kind of things and track even further.
I am
I want to check
posting
which
in,
email template.
I'm posting in the chat our email documentation. So all of the membership related email information that you could possibly dream about is now in the chat.
Perfect. The template name is cancel for reference.
Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty easy.
And while we're talking about email templates, almost all the templates can be modified in your back end. So if you go there, there's a list by default, depending on what add-ons you have installed, but by default, there's at least 20 different emails that can be customized for your needs.
Just
and they
about
can be
everything.
disabled. Yeah.
Everything can be customized.
There's certain plugins, add-ons when you add them. So we have an approval add-on. And if you were to add that, it adds 5 new templates that you can also modify for your use. But there's a handful of add-ons that have emails that don't show up there. They're kind of older ones that do very simple one-off things. But a majority of them will.
Jared went dark.
I know, he's scary looking.
So,
is that a South
I'll
African
turn
thing?
It's not good.
It's not good.
I'm still here though.
But you have the important thing. You have the generator connected to your or your backup to your network.
There's some light. There you go.
Yeah.
So is this your schedule of not having electricity?
Yeah, we'll
right
be
now?
off from for the next 4 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So everyone, just so you know, Jared is in South Africa and they have like schedules of when they have electricity or not. So that is why Jared is very dark now.
But it doesn't stop us from being here.
It does not.
The redirect is, so member homepages is a plus add-on. Is there a way to do it without signing up for the plus package? Yeah, there is a code recipe.
Not only is there a code recipe,
And
there's
a post.
also you get all of our add-ons on GitHub.
Ah, yes.
And I can say that because Kim posted a video about open source and how to use PM Pro and our add-ons on GitHub. So
Yeah. Shall we share the free link?
yeah, we can. Do you already have it up to where you can DM me it?
Yeah.
No, paid memberships pro/free. Doesn't that have the?
That doesn't have the
that's the
add-on.
one.
Oh, is that? That's not going to have the add-ons. That's just signing up for a free membership.
I'm just going to the add-ons page now, quick. Here we go.
But if you know anything about GitHub or how to use GitHub, you can get any of our add-ons there. And I can actually pull up on our YouTube channel. Kim recently did a video on how to do all of this, so I can share that with you. There's the YouTube video to watch. All right, and then going back in the comments, we have a question from GT and Art Gallery. Firstly, thanks for PM Pro. We love you. Question, I have a membership web. How do I give access to members securely so they can upload their things? They're a bit confused. It kind of would depend on what you're trying to upload. I would start there.
Yeah, I think for kind of like a general answer to this, user fields would probably be a great option for you there. It allows you to create custom fields during checkout for pretty much any kind of field, including file uploads. And those would all be paired with a user account that is created after they check out. So yeah, you can add as many fields as you need and want. In terms of it being safe and secure, that would just depend on your site and how things are also set up. But yeah, I think that would get you started.
If it's something you want after the fact, I know there's third-party plugins that can manage and give people permissions to upload, and then you could have a third-party plugin, but then you could restrict access to it. Chips Pro.
Awesome.
Yeah, lots of different ways to go about it. But GT and Art Gallery, if you want to give us a little bit more information, or if you don't want to give us more information on the more public side of things, you can also give us more information by reaching out to us from our contact page, and we can give you a little bit more direction there, depending on what you're trying to do. Okay. Thomas says, I'm moving to a WordPress solution from a hosted solution for a membership streaming site. Is there an easy way to import my users from Stripe? I did ask Thomas what's hosted solution they are on right now, and I have not received a response, but that would be my first question, because from my understanding, it kind of depends on what you're going from.
Where you coming from? Yeah.
Yeah.
Flixnex, he says.
Okay, Flixnex.
So I think there's a couple of things that you can take into account for this, and starting sort of like right from the beginning. I'm assuming that those subscriptions are not in your own Stripe account, but kind of run through Flixnex Stripe account as kind of, for lack of a better word, through like Stripe Connect kind of thing. They were in actual times and days. Not a Stripe product.
So does Flixnex hold the subscription and talk to Stripe?
Your Stripe account. Okay, that's cool. That makes it a lot easier. Well, easy.
Doable.
So,
how about doable
yeah,
rather
it's
than
possible.
easy as a word?
Yeah.
It's possible.
So you know, if you can't see, Jared put easy in quotations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. So that's great because it's going through your Stripe account at least. You would want to I think getting started, you would want to have a look at the import users from CSV add-on. Be able to export those those users and match them up to a CSV file that can be imported into PM Pro. From there, all of your webhooks and that kind of thing would need to be updated to your new site. And every user is going to need an order that matches the last subscription and transaction ID for that customer. So they need to be able to kind of match up to what's in Stripe. If that's all there, PM Pro in the end waits for the gateway to notify it of a new charge. So the subscriptions will always remain active in Stripe. The only thing that's really going to change now is that it's going to notify your PM Pro site of a renewal, and if everything is hooked up correctly, you should just get a renewal process as expected.
So Thomas asks, in addition to that, the products are created at Stripe with you guys, correct? If I'm understanding correctly, the answer would be no, because the product, quote, product, would be your membership, and you would create your membership levels in PM Pro prior to importing your Stripe information. Is that correct? Did I do that right?
Yeah. It's so we sync the levels or your products in PM Pro /quotes with products that we kind of create on the fly, if I remember correctly, and can associate things from there. So you wouldn't be able to have a set of products in Stripe and then kind of reverse engineer it. But as long as those subscriptions are there and you can pair them with an order in PM Pro, you're good to go.
Hopefully that helps, Thomas.
That would be a good live thing to do, to import, because we just recently sent out that email with all the different migration, but when it comes down to it is the end part of matching up the data from the other person's ours. And that's true for anybody you're moving from. We don't have any like thing that's just going to happen automatically. But if we had a live thing, like, okay, here's this sheet, here I modified it, uploaded in, and what you're looking to happen, that would be nice. I think that would be a good show. I would send lots of customers to that.
Yeah, it's one of the most important steps. So I think it would it would help a lot.
Yep.
That is a good idea. I am planning Q4 right now. So
there we go. We'll see you then.
I like that.
One of the things that has come up with some recent people trying to migrate, and it's what you started out talking about in the beginning, Jared, is their account really isn't their own in the first place, and they don't really realize that. And that would be the only obstacle. But if you are connected to your own, managed under your name, they should be able to work together.
Thomas said that they don't have until Q4. We do have several different migration guides. We don't have one for FlixNext right now. I don't know if that's super popular and if that's one that we would want to dive into. But for this end part that they're talking about, of importing, all of our migration guides have pretty similar information regarding the last step of importing it into Paid Memberships Pro and doing all of that. So definitely check out our migration guides, Thomas, because that will be helpful.
Yeah, I think that will definitely help. You'll see how those CVS, the drugstore, CSV files. I've gotten much better at that. There's just so many acronyms and letters, and they overlap. And
I know. I said something totally backwards the other day that just made me laugh. I think we were talking about the show Law and Order SVU, but I called it SUV.
SUV. Yeah.
That's a different show.
That's a different show.
Okay, so GTN Art Gallery said, can we contact privately later, and that they would want to give us access to their site. You can absolutely contact us. We will answer general pre-sales questions to help guide you in a right direction. If we feel like you need more of a developer hands-on type help, we will also point you in the direction to the developers that we recommend for PM Pro. So, but absolutely reach out. Please contact us. Do not sit in the dark and be lost like Jared. No,
Yay. I feel like that was aimed at me.
Yeah.
Only a little. Okay, so we have a question from Facebook, which is the first.
Wow.
Yay. Means my test in Q3 worked by the end of Q3 anyway. Can PM Pro handle synchronized renewals? Our society has a calendar-based renewal period, October 1 to October 1 of one year to October of the next year. I don't need prorating. Every October 1st memberships renew and require customers to enter a lapsed period while we seek payment. Is this something PM Pro can do?
Definitely.
Yes. Yes.
And Kim,
I shared the link.
Yep.
That is a common question people ask, the calendar year. Now, the one we know with some associations and businesses, they're required legally to renew yearly. If you want to think about it, if you're starting out, it's really not the best practice because your money only comes in once a year. You're also, depending on how large your thing is, you're getting all that activity at the same time. But it's totally doable, not a problem if you have to. And now this post I might have given you is the subscription renewal version. So this is a little different. But what you would want to do is you would want the set expiration date plugin, which is a free plugin. And I'm assuming people are manually paying. So if this is the case, you set it up. It's $100 per year. It expires on October 1st that year. And then your users will get reminders, hey, you want to renew in 7 days. And then everybody will expire that day, or everybody will be required to renew that day. So that is if they're manually renewing. If you're setting up subscriptions, then you want the subscription delay add-on. And that will help you, that'll help you set it up. And the instructions are all in the documentation for that. So I'm not going to try to explain that one. But that'll do the same thing, because when you're setting up a membership and a thing, and this gets confusing for some people, your first payment technically isn't a subscription. In our settings, it's your initial payment. So if you have an initial payment set, that is always charged when the person checks out. It's the billing amount which becomes the subscription. So if it's June 1st and my initial payment is $100, but my subscription will start on October 1st, that's when that next payment will be taken. And if you have the subscription delay add-on, that will create that subscription in Stripe or PayPal to be able to bill October 1st every year. So very doable. The one thing you don't want to do in most cases is you don't want to have a automatic renewal and an expiration date. So don't get confused and add those two together. And we have a post on that.
We try to have a
But
post
to
on just
expire
one.
everybody on the same time, same year kind of thing, expiration dates will work well.
Yeah, for expiration dates. If it's manual payments or if it's auto payments, you just have to know the difference.
I think I need to add that to my membership site that I have then. For the guild, because they want everybody to have to re-up manually on February 1.
So you just want set up expiration. So you don't even want to set up recurring payments?
No.
You just want that's what you would want. And if you remember, we do have scripts that we'll do. I know this user doesn't want proration, but it is possible. There is some custom scripts that we have for our members to be able to prorate a payment. So say you had a January through December membership for $100. If they signed up in June, it would prorate them to $50. But proration's a difficult word because we also have a proration plugin, but that's totally different. That's not the same at all.
So Thomas is asking, is there live support anywhere I can talk to if I have issues, or who's texting me their number? Thomas, we do not have live support. Our support team is top notch and they do answer fairly quickly. Jared's actually their manager. What's our reply time is like wicked fast right now.
Yeah, we're doing really good now. I don't want to give like a
no promise.
perfect number right now.
I don't want to
but it's, I mean, we're on top of it. So I would definitely recommend our support. That does require being on standard or plus as a paid member of Paymemberships Pro. If you need additional support from that, then we would recommend a developer. We are not custom building things anymore. Oh, that is true. Kim White just reminded me in the background that we do have a Slack community that you can jump on to. I'll get you the link. I think on our site it's restricted to paid members, but if you reach out to contact and you ask us nicely to be added to it, then you will have a community to help answer your questions as well.
Really? I send free users there all the time. Oh, I shouldn't be doing that?
No, you can. You
Does
can.
that link not work?
It's just like on the side. You know, it does. It works. There's no.
Oh, okay.
There's no check. It's just if you land upon it on our site, it's going to say this is for premium members. But if you ask nicely, we bend rules. That's the key. Is be nice, be kind.
Yeah.
Okay, so Relationship Workout has a question. It's a two-parter though, so I gotta bring up two comments. So is anyone out there? Hello, we're here. I've built a WordPress site using PM Pro and am now building an iOS app. At first, I will mostly do web views of the various pages, but need to be able to allow membership sign up and log in through the app. Any tutorials on how to do this? This feels like a Jared question.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, let's do this. It depends on what you or how you are gonna build the app. Obviously, we don't really integrate with any app as such, so you kind of starting way from the beginning there. But there's a couple of things you could take into account, and depending on what you're using, if you're using a framework or like those online app builder kind of things, which are really cool. Sometimes they have the functionality to log in. No, they have functionality to log in through the app, and then you can connect that to your WordPress site using the REST API. And the same applies for PM Pro. So we have a full REST API that you can use to connect to. I'm just pulling it up, and that'll allow you to see if a user has membership level, if they have access to a specific page. I think a lot of this would be REST based, but like I said, it also depends on how you are going about building this. If you're doing this natively, I don't know. I'm sorry. but yeah, like REST API, definitely that's going to kind of be your go-to to connect things up. And yeah, I hope it works out. That'll be really cool.
I don't think we have many people that do like an app. as well.
Mm-mm.
I hear from people every once in a while. I know that Buddy Boss has some type of app integration, and
Okay.
they handle the payments. So, because somebody was
Okay.
trying to, but still, yeah, you need those API connections because they had wanted to do their own, but if you use another company to do the app, they're going to help you with the payment process if they're taking that payment. Otherwise, you have to have
Yeah.
some type of
You
developers.
kind of build the site twice, from my understanding, because I mean, an iOS app you can only accept payments through the iOS app
Right.
in a certain way. In a certain way, Apple only allows a certain gateway or whatever. You're going to have your own login section through the app that'll kind of talk to the website. You're going to use core WordPress REST API parts to get your pages, get your content, and then you're going to use PM Pro's REST API, or endpoints at least, and do stuff with it and say, okay, does somebody have this? Do they have a membership? Show the content, redirect, move to another page. It's really cool. Good luck. I think it'll be awesome.
I wonder if our users do that enough to like have a guide of some kind on our end. But I guess there's a lot of different ways to build those apps for the phones.
Yeah, Vince, what are you doing how are you building the app? Are you doing it natively? Are you using a third party service to build it up? Like, I mean, there's a couple like Ionic and those kind of things. It'll be cool to find out.
I'm sure Vince will answer.
Yeah.
While we wait for Vince to answer, if anybody else has more questions, please throw them our way. We're out of questions in the chat now.
I did have a friend text
So
me
we
and
just
say,
did.
Jared, you need to turn on a light. So I think you missed when
I don't have
the power went.
electricity. I'm sorry.
I can. No. Yep. The
I
power
want to do
went.
it
What are you
natively
gonna do?
and not.
Yeah.
So Vince wants
So-
to do it natively and not use
Yeah.
AppCress or something like it.
I think it's
Right.
really cool. You're going to get a lot of flexibility by doing that natively. But like I said earlier, I think you're just going to have to kind of think of it as building two separate sites, for a lack of a better word.
Yeah.
You could probably pull PM Pro through a web view, like you said. But the sign up process where you're going to accept payments, I don't know how the App Store will handle that. And the login part, I don't think the login part will be a problem then if you're going to do it through a web view. But payments, that might be your only thing to overcome. But
It might
if you use
be
something,
you might have to have people sign up, and then when they sign up, they get access to the app.
yeah, maybe.
I mean, that's how a lot of for a while, the bigger companies worked because they didn't want to give Apple 30%. So
Yeah, because they
I
take
think
commission.
still, well, an Audible, like I have an Audible account. I can't buy anything in their app, but I can use my credits that I already own.
Mm.
Spend the money.
Awesome.
I didn't know Apple. I mean, obviously they have to make money off of their thing, but I didn't know that there was like 30% or whatever to.
The last I checked. Now I don't know if the big guys negotiate, but yeah, last I had heard it was 30%. But you're using their resources. We know how difficult it is to set up payment gateways and have these kind of relationships. So, and you're putting it in their store, you're getting the visibility. I think it's a little steep, but somebody's doing the work. Somebody
Yeah.
has to.
Is it this is like going off the rails. Is it 30% on the purchase of the app or 30% of what gets purchased within the app?
Both.
Or
Oh,
both.
dang.
I think it's both.
Yeah,
though.
and you
I'm in
can
the
s-
wrong industry. Or not industry, but like segment of the industry, I guess. I need to be Apple.
You just need to own Apple then. It's
There you go.
Goals.
but Vince said, yeah, third-party services don't work as well. Yeah, so I think it's awesome what you're going to try and do there, and yeah, it'll be really cool. We got some more questions.
We did. Okay, so Rip is asking, currently, if a member decides to choose another level, is their previous level refunded?
It is not. So when somebody signs up for another level with an active level, the previous membership is cancelled, and the new one is a new membership is started.
And if the person wants a refund, they would have to either reach out to you,
would have to
or you would
manually-
have to manually go in and watch them and do that.
Yeah. But you can also process refunds from the orders page now if you're using PayPal Express or Stripe.
And Kim also just sent me the proration add-on. Kim, I'm assuming with that one you're saying if you use it and someone changes their level, it's only going to charge them the difference.
Right. And I think it only works if you have reoccurring payments. Is that correct, Jared?
Yes. I think
So, but it doesn't give refunds. What it would do is if I signed up for the gold level at $100 and wanted the premium, which was $200, I would go in, logged in as myself, and it looks and goes, "Oh, you just paid $100. Okay, well, you only owe $100. You don't owe $200." And then it switches the subscription at the gateway. But if you downgrade, it doesn't process a refund, and you would have to do that for the person.
So Rip responded, we have a lifetime level membership and then add-on stuff like a special listing in the directory. Want to keep them a lifetime membership. Out.
Add-on packages would be cool for that. Otherwise, okay, so there's two ways we could look at doing that. And I'm typing the same thing twice. The add-on packages allows you to buy a, and I quote, thing, as we say on our website. So you can kind of create a page, require that somebody has their lifetime membership, and allow them to buy that thing for, that could be a special listing in the directory. Otherwise, you would go with the MMPU, add on multiple memberships per user, create that listing thing, again, bad word, as another level, and then somebody just signs up for that level. But they wouldn't be able, would they be able to buy it twice? Yeah, you could. Yeah, you would be able to, just because you would set it up as a once-off payment. And
yeah, as long as it's not a subscription kind of thing, you can do it.
Wouldn't you just have the lifetime membership not be recurring and never expire? Like that would just be the way it's set up?
Yeah, that's the lifetime. But if they want to sell them other features to go along, they don't want to change their membership level.
It would be sold each year. Yeah, so you could, okay, so for something like that, I think I'd go with another level. Give it an expiration date, set it to expire after a year. That's how we have it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's the way I would go with it.
I've seen sites do that. They'll have their levels, and then they'll have tickets for events, or actually a level. And it's the same thing. It's just a way to collect money, for something, and then they have that access to the event or something.
Yeah, the best route would be the multi-membership per user add-on.
Which we've mentioned it a number of times today. Just you want to know when you're using that. Right now, there are other add-ons that may not be compatible with it. So you want to look at the compatibility list. And on our site, I think, it's listed on the individual add-ons on the side. There's a compatibility heading in the sidebar, and it'll say not compatible with multiple memberships for users. Yes, compatible.
Or
Our
pending.
goal is to make anything that should work with it to work with that, but it's not 100%. So you want to check. Like, I don't know if proration would work or something. Not that it matters, but it's just good to know. To always look.
Rip is also asking, is that plugin out of beta yet?
Jared?
So can I mention some of it?
I think, I mean, we can mention things, we just can't have a promise date.
Yeah, we're not giving timelines. So it won't necessarily go completely out of beta because it's being implemented into core. And yeah, so that'll be part of the big version 3 release. So that add-on won't necessarily be used once 3.0 goes out. Is that list available on each add-on page? Yeah, so every add-on, if you click on the add-on on our website, on the left sidebar, it'll show if the plugin is compatible with MMPU or not.
I don't know if you want to share a screen and just show what that looks like.
That. Yep. So there we go, compatibility. So I'm on the add-on packages. And on the left there, it'll show that it's not compatible with the MMPU add-on. Otherwise,
and it's either not compatible, or pending compatibility.
Yeah. And needs further, yeah, there we go. There's a pending, needs further development to be. Yeah. All right.
We're getting closer. We're getting closer to more of the add-ons being able, once again, logical ones that should work with that.
Okay, so here's another question from Rip about 3.0. He says, so as long as we're keep paying annually, we'll have access to 3.0. PM Pro Core is free all the time. You do not have to have a premium membership with us to get updates to Core or to use Core. The benefit of paying annually to us is our support team and automatic add-on updates for those add-ons that are either standard or plus.
And code recipes. We've got a lot of code recipes. And the tips. There's quite often I want to refer to a tip and it's like, oh, that's a premium tip. I mean, we'll share when we can, but you have access to tons and tons of resources.
Yep. Okay, so Growth Virtual Assistant posted the Elementor question that we had at the very beginning. And they are back. So we did touch on your Elementor question at the beginning. So if you want to watch the replay, you can go back through that information. Which I think they did because wrong one. They said I use Astra and the content is a third-party plugin outside of PM Pro that's being restricted. So I think that might be the problem.
The content is a third-party plugin outside of. Yeah, that might also depend then how you're using Elementor with it. Sorry, I misunderstand the.
Yes, I think they're using Elementor, Astra, and then a third-party content restriction.
Okay.
My question would be, just curiosity, why not use the PM Pro core content restrictions that we already have built in? why do you feel like you need a third party?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because sorry, we were just processing there, I think.
Yeah.
I think so. Just to keep in mind that we integrate with Elementor. The core plugin does that. So there is an option in most of the elements, I think, when you click on the advanced tab, that you can select the levels that you need that are required for that element to show. So yeah, we gave it a test earlier.
Oh, the plugin is for the directory that they're restricting.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Is that like a custom post type, or are they restricting it with a CPT?
I'd be interested to know that, because we also have the directory plugin too. So
yeah.
Or the directory add-on, I should say.
Yeah, if you weren't here before, we were having mixed results, so we're going to look deeper at that. If you want to contact us on the contact page, and I can keep you up to date at what we find. Just mentioned you talked to us.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. Just pop us a mail through the contact page.
Just so we can dive in more and help you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, I have a question from Jeffrey. We just purchased PM Pro. We have dependent membership types for members of household. Is there a way to link these types to full membership type?
I could take that one.
You know,
my
you want
favorite.
to say.
It's my favorite plugin. I do love the sponsored group plugin.
You do?
Add-on. I do, because what it does is very valuable. What happens, some of the conflict is people wanted to do more. And that's always the truth with anything. But basically what it does when you go to use it is great. So if you're using the sponsored members, I'm stalling, you've got the link right there, right? Because
yeah.
Is you create a parent level. So that could be, you could call it household or whatever you want to call it. And you can give that level permission to have 3 sub accounts. They're not really sub accounts, they're their own account, but they're controlled by the parent. And this way, so if the parent's paying $100 and then they get a code they get 3 codes they can give to 3 other people to sign up. There's also the option to sign up 3 other people on the same page. It will be for a different level, but that level can have the same permissions and everything you need. And then the parent can manage those accounts. You can remove a child, you can give the code to another child, you can make it where they can have 1 extra user, 5 extra users, you can charge more for the user, it can be part of it. So if you look at that, yeah, there's a lot of options there. And as if you said you have a premium package, so that's part of it, and our support could help you configure that.
Yes,
and then when those users,
there's a little bit of
sub users have great access. It's a comparatively, it's you have to put a snippet in to make it work. Now we are working on updating that and providing a more GUI interface, but we have no date for when that's going to happen. But
I'm excited for that.
Support can help you with that.
It's going to be really cool.
Okay. All right. So Rip is just asking, can we get a link to review this live cast later? I'm going to be leaving this up on our YouTube channel. So if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can find it there. I'm not going to take it down. I'll keep it public for everybody.
Yeah, we didn't do anything too terrible that you would have to pull down, right?
No, I think Jason and Kim can see this and we'll be okay. We won't be fired.
Okay. Except Jared's in the dark. Why is Jared in the dark? What's going on? It's nighttime in South Africa. What can we say?
It is though. Are you 5 or 6 hours ahead of us right now?
I think 6.
I know
It's
with
9
the
p.m.
daylight
Yeah.
savings it changes. So
No.
yeah, so 6 hours. It's almost 3 o'clock. So yeah, it's 9 o'clock. It's my bedtime in South Africa.
It's nice. I love the our team members from overseas. It's nice. We have this time during the day when we work together and we collaborate, but yet we're able to in support have a wide area of time where things are being answered. So I think it's a great feature.
Yeah, I really enjoy. I've learned so much more than public school.
Like, it's not just Africa. There's a lot of countries there.
Yeah. And it's not just the savannah and like wild animals.
And it's not just
It's
desert.
wild animals and city.
And they're separate.
So Jeffrey
got
has a
more
question
questions.
about import user from CSV. That indicates that one of the required fields you must import is the user ID. On this site, there is no definition for the field. Is there a numeric field that I can supply?
User ID,
just
that's
checking
their
the
name, right? You could give them, you could use their email address if you have their email address, because that's going to be their user ID that they sign in with, right? That's what we're looking at. So, like, how are they signing in now?
So you must import the user ID, user login, or user email. So that can be an email address if you want to match or update. But if nothing is found, so if the user ID for a row is entered that doesn't exist for a user, then it actually creates that user.
Right.
User login, unique username, yeah. But I would, for ease of use and where possible, obviously, a user email is just easier. I shared a link.
Yeah. It's a WordPress. So that, yeah. So, and also if you're using the CSV uploader, there's actually 2 plugins that need to be installed, and that's on the documentation. We're extending on an existing plugin that's called import users from CSV, and then ours adds our fields. Every once in a while, I get a email from a customer, and they're like, "I'm uploading, but they're not getting their membership level," and usually it's because they don't have both installed.
Yeah. So I have a couple more questions and then we'll wrap it up so I don't take up all of Jared's night. So
what is he going to do? It's dark.
Alex says, I have a question, but I don't speak English well. Alex, if you reach out to us on our contact form and you give it to us in your native language, we will use Google Translate and we will help you to the best of our ability.
Right.
So go ahead and do that, because we'll do anything we can to help you.
Yes, we'll be paying Google Translate for the win.
Yes.
But we may ask again to make sure we're understanding. The one thing, I don't think this is true for any plugin or any computer thing, is the words don't get translated exactly the same. And it's like, if you mean this.
Yeah. But it's also, I've learned that there are ways that other people like describe what they're trying to do, but it's not necessarily how we would just try to describe how to do the thing. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes we need more clarification.
Screenshots can be a big help. So if you're talking about and the other thing is asking specific questions, then when I go to this link, this happens. And if it's something confusing, a screenshot is worth 1,000 words. Because I know what our plugin looks like in Portuguese and Spanish and German and French.
just about everything.
We got more.
Growth Virtual Assistant says, last question, I promise. Can you share a link for redirecting the signed out members from the WordPress default to the homepage or PM Pro login page? I know we have it.
I'm having a look for us now.
Yes.
Who's going to beat me to it?
I'm checking for us.
I'm actually not looking. You guys are looking.
So at logout, you want to send them to a specific page.
Yeah, so
Yes,
this
is
should
that-
do the trick.
Do we have that on our as a code recipe
No,
on our
I
site
think
somewhere?
it's.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think it's a year or two old. So I think it would need to be tested, but I think it should do the trick. You're just going to change this section where it says get permalink and the PM Pro page's login ID there to a URL that you would want it to. Okay, you're going to change it, but let me fork this quickly.
Redirect members to pay based on their level. I'm looking at the post that we have.
Oh, cool.
But we're talking
Redirect
logout on this
members upon log out based on level. Look at that.
Good.
That's what we're looking for, right?
There we go. Our docs are awesome. I love it. I'm biased, but I love it.
I'm biased too, but I also work really hard on them.
Yes.
They're like my baby.
Yeah, no, it's you guys do a great job with it.
So I have a question for Jared. So by default, when I log out of my site, and I don't know what the difference is, sometimes it goes to the back end, and I don't know if that's because I'm an admin, and sometimes it goes to the. What is the default behavior for our logout page?
For our logout page, let's see.
For our logout. Because sometimes
So-
I know I'm working as an admin, and I'm.
I think
maybe
it's
getting a
back to the
different
login
experience.
page. No,
Back to,
our default is to go back to the WP login page.
right.
When you hit logout, we go back to the default WordPress login page.
Login.php. That one?
Okay. What's that?
So much. That was good. Those weren't as bad as I thought they would be.
Okay, a couple more though.
Oh,
I promise we're ending soon. I promise. I don't want to leave
Yeah.
As long
these
as
people
we're being
alone.
helpful. No, I want to help people. I'm totally into that.
Okay, so Rip is asking is there a way to is there like a list that we have for the add-ons that work with MMPU? And the answer is no, because it's ever changing. Right now we don't have a list, but we're working on a list. And when MMPU actually is in core, then we will have a more definite answer. But right now, the best way is to just check. But I would also imagine if you're not having an issue, then you probably don't have any ones that are not compatible.
Yeah. Okay.
But we used to have a page, but I don't know if we're supporting that. We'd had a thing that said MMPU yes, MMPU no, but I don't think that's being updated anymore.
I don't think it is.
I can't find the link anymore.
No, we went with the add-on, individual add-on. All right.
All right, last question. I promise.
No.
It's actually on Register Helper, which we have not talked about in a very, very long time because we now have user fields in the GUI. But why was the Register Helper snippet add-on removed and replaced by native core functionality? A consequence is that it changed the process for manually adding new members.
So there's a couple of things we can look at in that question. And so Register Helper was deprecated to support a user interface that is now in core. It's that I think that's one of those cases where you try to fix it for some people and then it doesn't work for others, kind of thing. So we're sorry if it made it harder for you. But yeah, so we kind of favored the UI side of doing that, but a lot of everything under the hood for user fields is almost identical to what Register Helper was. So there are still hooks in place as well that you can use to, say, pull in those fields into add member from admin so that you can manually add users and all that kind of thing as well. So I hope that answers your question.
I'd say a majority of our users are very happy with having the GUI. Very happy.
I would agree. I didn't get to play around with Register Helper too much before it was deprecated, but knowing how Register Helper worked and then actually using user fields, I am very appreciative of user fields.
That's awesome.
All right. So that's it, like I promised.
Sammy did great.
Thank you. Alex is going to reach out to us on the contact page for their question. Just because it seems like it might be a little bit of a dive-in thing. So with that, join us next week, Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern. And I promise I will have Jason here for site security and preventing fraud, because I know that's a topic that everybody wants to hear about. So thank you, guys. Thank you for your questions. Jared and Kim, thank you for jumping in last minute with me.
Thank you.
That's
keeping my head above water.
My pleasure. Thank you. Have a good night.
Us.